Supposedly, Shield Wall was a defensive setup for my Warbringer build. The idea was to have a rune wherein I can safely cast Stampede. In tier 14 plus, I'm having trouble with taking all the damage from enemies while Stampede is on its casting animation. I do have decent block chance to mitigate some damage, but the problem is that the ability gets cancelled sometimes when it blocks enemy attacks. My goal is to create a rampaging Warbringer with Stampede and Shield Wall was the missing piece to the puzzle, but surprisingly I got more benefits from the Shield Wall skill gem. At first I thought it was just a defensive skill, but after trying it in a couple of tier 11 magic rarity maps and higher, I saw the potential of a nuking combo by using the ability to obliterate enemies within 6 meters radius. So basically, the skill gem has this mechanic wherein it gains added physical damage per 15 armor you have in your shield. While it's not clearly stated, I'm assuming that the physical damage from armor manifests on the explosion if the shield wall breaks. The skill also says on its description that it somehow scales with area damage and physical damage. It does scale with the latter, and taking physical damage stats in your passive skill tree will increase the damage of shield wall. However, the area damage seems to not scale with the ability, and you are better picking melee damage as it increases the overall damage of the explosion. Also, plus level to melee skills don't work, so you might think that this is mediocre, as even giving the highest possible armor in my shield, plus getting almost all the melee nodes in my passive skill tree, I just got 4.6 thousand average damage per use on shield wall. My Mace Strike has better damage, and obviously Hammer of the Gods will out-nuke shield wall on paper, and you may think that it's not even close. However, this is special synergy within the Warbringer Ascendancy that makes this special. The Shield Wall skill becomes potent when you add armor breaking. You can pick the anvil's weight to break armor from every hit you make, including the explosion coming from the Shield Wall ability. Then, you can continue to the Imploding Impacts passive to break the armor of enemies below 0. Take note that Shield Wall is a physical damage skill, and with negative armor, the skill will deal massive damage to enemies within 7 meters radius. And get this, we can also add the armor explosion to Shield Wall so that if enemy armor breaks, then it will cause an explosion dealing fire damage. You can use your Mace Strike or even Bone Shatter to break the Shield Wall, causing it to explode and deal decent damage to enemies within 7 meters radius. While doing so, you also break their armor, which will then increase the damage you deal if you have the passive called Pile on that increases the damage dealt to enemies that armor is fully broken. Shield Wall can be a good room clearing combo with Bone Shatter or Mace Strike, but do remember that you can also use other abilities to combo with Shield Wall. Take, for example, using Shield Wall to get cover while you are casting Stampede, which is my primary source of inflicting bleed to increase the damage of my Hammer of the Gods. The Lacerate support gem activates easier when you have Stomp, as each footstep will have a chance to activate bleeding. The good thing is, Shield Wall will break easily once you rush forward with Stampede, causing heavy damage, and as well as armor breaking to enemies caught by the explosion. In boss fights, or dealing against tough rare enemies, you can use Shield Wall, then break it with Mace Strike or Bone Shatter, or you can just cast Shield Wall, then rush the boss with Stampede to break its armor while inflicting bleed. After that, you cast Shield Wall again, and cast Hammer of the Gods, which will get more damage because of the Bloodlust support gem, and as well as the Exploit weakness that consumes the full broken armor of an enemy to deal 50% more damage. This Warbringer build is also tanky, as it has almost maxed out block chance paired with max elemental resistance, but this build can be better with the Turtle Charm passive from the Warbringer Ascendancy. I have tried this passive and it's really busted, as it blocks all hits except damage over time, such as bleed and poison, which you can easily counter with charms. And when I say all hits, this includes area damage, which is really helpful, especially for a melee class like the Warrior. It gives you massive survivability, and I strongly recommend this if you are going with a Warbringer Warrior. This will give you tons of survivability, and this will keep you in your feet also while playing breaches, tributes, and expeditions and maps. This build is subject for improvement in the future. Right now, I'm planning to get more power strength so I can get a better weapon to increase my other abilities. For now, you can try out this build for yourself. For the full view of skill tree plus itemization, then please check it at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and please do consider subscribing and liking the video if you find it informative. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.